What's wrong with crypto? Stay until the end and I'll tell you. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel now that we're going live from the YouTube Shorts feed. Okay, you're sitting there, you're having your coffee, and you're like, okay, well, they bought Bitcoin off the bottom, but then it can't go up after the initial bounce. No one wants to pay higher prices. And then you look at the screen, you go, And Nvidia fell apart on weird news about like the Chinese not being happy with them. And there's other news about excessive AI hiring. And there's problems with tech stocks and governments. And it's just like weird, right? Like crypto should be going up on some of this news, to be honest, right? But it isn't. Like Japan, England, mess. Nvidia, mess. Gen Z unemployment, mess, right? Politicians wanting to restart the culture war. It's like, ooh, it's Donald Trump versus Gavin Newsom. Give me a break. That's like so 2 years ago. So what's going on? Right? Well, they're distracting you. And what are they distracting you from? Problems that they've been ignoring. What kind of problems? Well, I don't know. Phony baloney accounting and AI, a bubble, legacy, stocks, bonds. We go through it every morning. I just think it's fair to say they're not telling the truth about anything. They just talked about fixing the Bureau of Labor Statistics with some famous guy on Twitter that me and the Eagle King read every morning. We have no idea what inflation or unemployment really is. I have a feeling that the suffering out there outside of the world of like the top 5%, it's pretty miserable. So let's get right down to it. I'm not going to spend 10, 15 minutes giving you the whole legacy, blah, 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 blah. We did that already. Why doesn't the crypto market go up? And here's the answer. The crypto market doesn't go up because it's temporarily had its confidence shaken. I think it started out with this Michael Saylor news that they have these products that they've issued to get money to buy Bitcoin. They have to pay interest on those items, right? So they issued the paper, the securities, they have to pay interest. And Michael Saylor got caught, right, selling MicroStrategy stock to pay these special people interest on their Bitcoin securities. So everybody went, oh my God. And then there's Nvidia, oh my God. And we've had about 5 oh my gods to the point where no one wants to buy crypto when it's up. Interesting, right? Up. The new up is like 115. It's like, ooh, can't touch it. I'm afraid, ETH goes up. Everyone's like, oh, I missed it. And I can't believe XRP is below $3 and it's staying there. Now, here's the great news. When a market acts like this, when people buy dips and it doesn't work, that can help provide the final puke. Because like you're seeing all kinds of stuff around like, oh, we got to face reality. Yeah, you're right. We do have to face reality. The reality we have to face is the only solution to all this baloney that's out there, right? It's all the serious stuff that's going on in economics. And frankly, it's all the phony baloney going on with sovereigns. Like the White House is going to get a TikTok account. Breaking news. Oh my God, shut up. The currencies, the economies, they don't work anymore. I think the best thing that I saw was the Eagle King sent me something that Bed Bath & Beyond, which for anybody outside the United States who doesn't know what that is, that's like where you go to buy a nice toaster or a comforter when you move into your apartment type stuff. They will not do business in California except as like a .com based delivery service. No more brick and mortar stores in California. Now you're like, okay, Bill, well, so what? Well, guess what? the governor of that state has developed like an orange man Twitter style, and he's moving up in the polls. And of course, that's what they want you to know about. Like Bed Bath & Beyond's move is fascinating. The unemployment rate in California is fascinating. But then I realized this morning, is that what they want me to think? I mean, yes, these things are true about doing business in California, et cetera. But are they feeding me that so I don't think about something else? What shouldn't I be thinking about? Sovereigns, debt, currencies, problems, theater. Like somebody said this thing at the in Washington was like the Europeans pledging money to buy products from the United States that we don't have so we can ship them over to somewhere in Eastern Europe. Is it me, or is everything feeling fake these days? And of course, somehow that has managed to scare people in crypto, when the fact of the matter is reality is on the side of crypto. Normally crypto is in like the fantasy zone. I don't think so. I think it's interesting that as bullish as everybody was last week, everybody was like, oh my God, Bitcoin's going to $200,000. Now nobody wants to pay 114. It's amazing. And I'm sort of wondering if there's going to be one last final heave before we just stand down there and we just take it all. In other words, it looks bad enough in a way that you're like, ooh, give me one more dip. Now let's talk about reality. I don't even know if I can talk about it, but Yeezy money is out. I actually saw a tweet from the guy's account. Yeezy money, a $1 billion meme coin, somehow launched with the idea of a better form of money, or a meme coin of this person. I don't know. Now, I said way back in the day that if you ever saw a Kanye coin, I just said that, if you ever saw Yeezy money, right, the market would go down. It would be the last stupid thing that happened. It would be Trump, Melania, and then Yeezy, and then that would be it. That's what I said back in the day. Now, Yeezy may be doing this to draw attention to himself, get himself back on Twitter. I'm not going to lie. I'm always interested when somebody comes out and says this is a new form of money. Now, antivirus, I'm going to be right about that. I'm not worried. You know, I thought I was going to be right about the Orange Man's coin. Yikes. Before, I don't know, they flip-flopped on just about everything, which brings me back to my original point. If Kanye has to issue money, what's wrong with money? Seriously. Like, I've come full circle. Like I said, all right, if they issue Kanye coin, everyone's going to buy Kanye coin and dump the rest of the market. Okay, maybe. But maybe Kanye is pulling another like super outside the box move and drawing people's attention to reality. You ever hear those lectures in crypto? Oh, you got to get real. You got to stop doing crypto. You got to stop being in the trenches. You got to stop doing memes. You got to stop doing whatever. No, actually, Yeezy is telling you need to start. You need to get in there harder. And if they spank it, oh God, who cares? At this point, who cares? I mean, it's obvious it's the end of August. It's obvious there's no real bid because you've got all this like brewing trouble in all these other places, right? Like supposedly there's something wrong with Michael Saylor. There's definitely something wrong with Nvidia, right? Everyone's kind of giving the AI trade the stink eye. If you want to trade AI, buy energy companies and utility companies because this electricity thing is for real. Do you want to do that? But it's amazing that all of a sudden people are like, oh, I don't want any Bitcoin. I don't want any of that. I don't want it. No, actually you do. You want it now more than ever. Like the more BS that comes out about what's going on in legacy. And then I know I probably shouldn't say this, but I actually think Yeezy money is cool. I am so tired of seeing these headlines about what is happening to Gen Z. What is happening to kids? They go to college, no job. I mean, every day, it's almost like they're trying to feed us despair on purpose. They're just trying to feed it to us. Like, do you know, if you're an art history major, you're doing better than a computer programmer. Oh, let's give you this over here so you don't look at Bitcoin or you don't look at crypto. Let's distract you. Oh, here we go. And then Yeezy comes out. It's like, okay, you want a distraction? I'll give you a distraction. Could fit in some colorful language in there. You want a distraction? I'll give you a distraction. Yeezy money. Take your sterling, your dollar, your Swiss francs, your yen, and go stick it. I'll be the distraction. If that's what happened, I love it. If it's another, I don't know. God only knows. If it's done by the same guys that did all this other stuff, then it's terrible. But they are trying to distract you. Make no mistake about it. Even with the lousy crypto price action, right? I mean, it doesn't trade terrible, but it doesn't trade great either, because every time they try to get it going, it winds up getting spanked back down because of equities. Now, maybe we need a good old-fashioned weekend crypto rally. I would love that, in fact. In other words, stonks close, all this legacy nonsense closes on Friday, right? And then the next thing you know, crypto is the other way. So I've come full circle. Yeezy money. I don't know if it's fairly priced at $1 billion. But I'll take his distraction over some of these other distractions, because I think these other distractions have got people annoyed, right? Everyone is kind of going back to the culture war. We don't want the culture war, bro. We want the Bitcoin strategic reserve. We don't want the governor of California. The governor of California makes me want Monero, which is up today, by the way, right? And it was, the governor of California is great for the idea of privacy. Now let's just talk about the central bank circus. I know we kind of touch on it every morning. It looks like the Fed is trying to make itself out to be a hero that stands up to the orange man because of what's been going on in Japan and the UK. They've had lower rates than you would expect over there and higher over here. And now the Fed's getting all uppity, like, you're not going to force me to resign, or you're not going to push me out. Okay. Well, it's nice to know you guys are, on the tape and on the job. Just that, do you know what the economic data is? And do you know where interest rates should be? And I doubt it. And when you hear this kind of bickering, like I'm looking at this, like, Federal Reserve governor says she will not be bullied to step down. Okay, great. So the executive branch is now bullying the central bank. If I walked up to you on the street and said, hey, what do you want to think? Let's talk about the currency of a country where the king is bullying the central bank. What would you do with the assets or the currency? You'd be like, oh my God, I would get out in 10 seconds. This is how we're acting, like, every day, and it's being normalized. Like, they're bringing the culture war back. Like, oh, let's check the museums and let's fight on Twitter. No. Bitcoin is going to disrupt you. Not you, the viewer, the you that's on the tape every day. This includes everybody. Right? There's a guy I was listening to last night, and he's right. You know what? It's time to be the bad guy again. You want to pay lip service to strategic reserves. You want to pay lip service to, oh, I love Ethereum. It's a great buy on the dip. You know what? Good. Because you're going to wake up one day and the crypto market is going to go, you know what? I am sick of you. We vote down on you, and crypto goes straight to the moon. And you know what? Again, we just released this huge report. In Patreon, like what to buy and when. we did the immediate buys. So what do you want to buy over the weekend? Like the 21st, the 22nd, the 23rd. That's in the YouTube member area. I'll give you one because I love you guys. Just one. One of them was QNT, right? If they puked the market, can you imagine with XRP below $3, if QNT would lead the way out of the hole? Interesting, right? Breaking news as I'm getting from the Eagle King. So BlackRock is selling Bitcoin because people are puking the ETF, right? I mean, let's buy Nvidia on the dip, but puke the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. Okay. BlackRock is saying the Fed should cut rates by 50 basis points in September. Huh. Let me ask you something. Why does BlackRock need a rate cut? I thought BlackRock owned the whole world. I thought BlackRock controlled everything. Why does BlackRock want a 50 basis point rate cut? Huh. Is there something wrong out there, boys? You having a little bit of a problem? Maybe you own too much single family housing. So sick of BlackRock. I mean, yes, thank you for giving us the ETF, but don't kid yourself. They're not the good guys. You know who the good guys are? Me and the crypto bros. You know, even if it's not a good trade, maybe it's guys who think like Yeezy money. Maybe it's actually time for everybody in crypto to go, you know, I don't care if they hit it. I don't care if they make it look terrible. I don't care if they dump it with equities. Who cares? Who cares? Right? Oh, the market's down. So what? No one will buy Bitcoin at 114. So what? Right? So what? So ETH, I don't know. Something happens and ETH falls below 4K. So what? So what? Right? It's like, oh, yeah, let's ignore crypto, but yeah, let's pay attention to the White House's TikTok account, or the thing I like even better. And this made me like perma bullish crypto. You want to hear something? Pull up a chair. Check this out. So Elon is not going to launch a third party. Huh. He's going to back JD Vance. Wow. Amazing. So first he was like, we're forming a third party. Now I was like, I think I'll stick with JD. And what is JD? Who's he in bed with? Let's call it the surveillance state, maybe. Right? In other words, this is a quick question. Are these people on your side? No, they're not. So let's not spend a lot of time on it. They're not on your side at all. And the big question is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Well, if you want to buy Yeezy, go for it. It's not investment advice. You want to grab some Ethereum, you want to get on XRP, you want to get on QNT. We have a whole list for you in the YouTube member area on a podcast with my, genius co-host yesterday, where she like laid it all out for you. I don't have to talk about legacy. I don't have to tell you how it's all going to happen. She told you. Like, it's really funny after listening to her. They won't pay 114 for Bitcoin. They're too scared because of Nvidia news. But if you listen to what she said, you're like, oh my God, it's going to 250 now. It's going to be scary, right? In other words, everyone's like, oh, the market's going down. I'm scared. No, bro. No. Crypto, according to her, is what saves you from the real scary, which can be anybody from, oh, look, we have a White House TikTok account. How nice. Where's my strategic Bitcoin reserve, meatball? Right? Where is it? Well, I'll tell you where the strategic Bitcoin reserve is. Your wallet and my wallet. I'm over it. I'm over it. In other words, are you going to go into the last week of August and go, well, crypto doesn't trade well? Okay. Crypto doesn't trade well because of everyone else's problems. Like everyone else has got an attitude problem about Michael Saylor, even though he's a genius, right? But I mean, let's not question Nvidia. Let's not question any of that. Let's be like, oh my God, Ethereum's not going. Dude, Ethereum's going to be back, right? So Federal Reserve breaking says, I do think they'll cut in September. Now, we've said this on the show, and I'll say it again. What they do or don't do doesn't really matter. I mean, if they were crazy tightening or crazy cutting, yeah, okay. But whether they cut or don't cut, there'll be an initial market reaction. But the fact of the matter is, the only thing that drives what happens is probably government spending. And I'm going to add a new one. It's probably what happens with stocks like Nvidia. Like if Nvidia goes down and the whole market kind of tanks, that's almost like wiping out wealth. So everybody is so obsessed with all these things. Let's go through the list. What's the Fed going to do? What's the Fed not going to do? What's the Gen Z unemployment rate? How are things going in California? Oh, the president's got a TikTok account. Oh, Elon Musk and JD Vance are kissing up to each other. When you look at this, it's got to motivate you. I saw a tweet this morning that says, someone's going to start tokenizing water. That's funny. I think I know those guys. Right? Somewhere out there in the world of noise, there's a smart thing to do. There is. And you know what? If they take this today and they spank Bitcoin and you see like I don't know, like we gave our Patreon guys, we gave them the date and the target. Hint, the target is below where it is right now. But I'm guessing, just throwing out a number. If you saw 110K Bitcoin, people would lose their mind. And, if people saw, I don't know, if they saw 109, they would freak out. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think 109 is going to happen. But I do think it's time to take advantage of everyone else's negativity. Every time I bring up things that are bearish or might hold the market down, there's always one guy, and I don't know who they are, but I always like them when they call in and goes, oh, Bill's being bearish again. Not at all. Not at all. They are more than happy to, actually, they can have fun trying to distract me. They can have fun trying to distract you. It's not going to work, right? They can lean all over this market because they've got to buy God knows how much. And it really does feel like they're just absolutely leaning on it, trying to get it to crack. Honestly, I know we've talked about this for like 3 days, but the more they lean on it, the more they're trying to find stops in a very, very, very thin market. Honestly, the more bullish I get, especially if they smash it, right? If we had this like, Nvidia stocks, whatever, let them do all that. And then when those markets close, I'm not going to get distracted, and you shouldn't either, especially with this culture war BS that they're trying to sell everybody now on the tape, right? Like, what's the thing that unites us? Crypto, right? You have like some minor footnotes, like Cynthia Loomis is like, yeah, we want to get the Clarity Act on the president's desk before the end of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but weren't those guys saying they wanted to have the Clarity Act on the president's desk by the end of September? What's the delay? Well, the delay is simple. They're scared of crypto. They're scared of Bitcoin. They want to participate. They want to get the votes. They want to make the show. But if they actually do say, yes, this has our blessing, yeah, they're on a countdown. They're on a countdown to them, I don't know, to an event. Let's put it that way. They legalize crypto with the Clarity Act. You're on a countdown to some kind of event where everybody goes, you know what? I think I'll take crypto. Thank you very much. I'm sitting here looking at Cynthia Loomis's picture. I think Cynthia is the only politician out there that's actually making like trying to keep promises. I don't know what these other characters are doing. I know what they're doing. They're trying to distract you, trying to get you fighting with your neighbor, or trying to get, no. Okay. And the beautiful thing about it is that even if it's going to zero and it blows up and it doesn't do anything, we can all thank Yeezy for coming in and going, you know what? This is probably an overvalued meme coin, but do we want a different form of money? And not just that, because I'm an antivirus John McAfee guy, but Do we want a different kind of person? Do we want a better meme? Let's put it that way. Do we want a dog or a cat, or do we want something else? Now, it's probably not this. It'd be nice if it was, but it probably isn't. But what do we need? What do you need? Have you ever asked yourself that? Like, I know what you do. You get up every morning like me and you go, okay, this is the P&L. Okay, this is my account. All right, it's up, it's down. I check my phone when I get up in the morning. We all do the same thing. I got a great idea. Maybe you don't even need to look at your phone over the next couple of days. Just, if it's going to puke out, just let it puke out. Just let it puke out. If it does. And let's see if they can hit it. Because you know what? I'm getting this feeling that it's like looks so bad, like they lean on it. It's this whole beware the failed rally thing I always talk about, which is true. Right? If it can't rally, they're going to try to sit on it. And you know what? I think they got until today at 5 o'clock to try to crack it. And if they can't do it, watch out. Seriously. In other words, they're going to do the, oh my God, Nvidia thing. The, oh my God, the stocks thing. And I don't know if they're going to flip Saturday morning or Sunday night. Right? They're trying to scare you. They're trying to distract you. It's becoming nauseating, which is why I brought it up. It's somewhat nauseating. And I don't think you should fall for it. I don't think you should get depressed. Don't get depressed. I did a video about why is crypto down. That video has 3 times more videos than normal. 3 times. Okay. I'm seeing here a machine just contributed a regional research level mathematics. Okay. So ChatGPT 5 just did math that no one has done. These machines are going to do what with money? We just talked about this on the podcast in the member area. We just talked about it. Not about new forms of mathematics, but what happens when agents, in other words, AI, what happens when agents start trading, start sharing computer power. I mean, you realize that all this stuff is here. Arthur Hayes bought DeSci, decentralized science for making medicine. Like, you're like, what? I don't even know what that is. Exactly, bro. That is exactly what I said when someone tried to tell me about decentralized finance in 2020. What is out there that you don't know about? Machines are already doing things that are shocking, right? That hence the massive mania over in Web 2. But what happens, and again, this is on the YouTube member podcast, what happens when everyone wakes up and goes, gee, I think we're going to do this in crypto. We're going to do Nvidia in crypto. And I want you to think about that as you sit around and watch these dummies be afraid. It's like, oh, okay, 112 is next. Bio is the coin that Arthur Hayes was into. So I'm doing something different than I normally do. I've already explained to you why crypto could get weighed down by all this other BS. I've explained to you that market makers are going to try to hit it. Now that they probably are, let them. Like, think about this. Yeezy comes out. The newspapers use that as, oh, wow, this is a great way to scare people off crypto. Even though I think it's a great way to get in, but a great reason to get in, not investment advice. Everyone's going to be like, oh, you see, it's crypto. It's bad. It's another bad thing. Okay. Good. You cannot let them scare you out of the water with whatever it is they're going to do here. Right? Because I know as soon as you see like 112 or whatever it is, everyone's going to freak out. I mean, I'm looking at ETH. ETH is at 4,200, so ETH is okay. I don't think we're going to have to worry about people getting hysterical about ETH going through 4,000. But, XRP is getting heavy. I'm not going to lie. We had 281 to 285 as like the buy zone for XRP from our GAN model in our Patreon. And I was like, it's never going to get down there. Guess what? It's down there right now. It's like, everyone thinks XRP is going to $7, but at 281, at 289, no one wants to touch it. Like we've officially gone full circle. Like I discussed the reasons why the market might go down. That's happened. Okay. Jobless claims numbers are out. Let's see what we got. Okay. The actual number is 235,000 down. Okay. The estimate was 226. Slightly worse numbers won't stop crypto pumps yet. Okay. So we'll have to check out what's going on with initial unemployment claims. Live at 351 says 112 is an opportunity. We've come up with our level in Patreon. What I don't want is, these are the things I don't want you to think about. The Fed, whether they cut rates in September, doesn't matter. What matters is what the bond market does. Believe it or not, I don't even think what happens in Japan matters. I know what does because I was at the YouTube member podcast yesterday. So that doesn't matter. So you don't have to listen to my macro head wah about that. Don't worry about that. Okay. Don't listen to anything bearish about altcoins or meme coins because of Yeezy, right? I mean, Bonk has gotten destroyed lately. And even though we're not big meme coin fans, like I was working on the chart with my colleague, I was like, yeah, I used to be kind of juicy if it went down 10%. So they want to turn around and spank this thing today. Or you want to have a problem with stocks. You could have a problem Friday, Sunday night, or Monday, maybe. I mean, they're all gone to the beach, right? So they can push it all around. But forget that. Forget the U.S. economic data. Forget the culture war. Forget the overseas problems. What I want you to remember is privacy and the reasons why we crypto. Because you know what? The reasons why we crypto will be the same reasons why machines crypto. Because there's only really one good form of money out there. There's like gold and silver, okay? But that's not a form of money. It is for central banks, not for me and you. So you didn't think your market update was going to be a defiant crypto pep talk as they try to spank the market. Let them spank the market. Let them spank the market. And if they do, regardless of the reason, take it from them. Take it from them, right? Because the only way to get ready for a really big rally is to get your head in a space where they won't let you, nothing will distract you from crypto. And when it goes down, you're brave enough to take it. That's the part I haven't told you yet. No matter what kind of pep talk I give you, I'm only on the air for 90 minutes a day, maybe. So the pep talk is whatever they hit you with here, be ready. Don't get scared. If anything, cowboy up. Because everything they're trying to sell you doesn't matter. What they should be trying to sell you is crypto, but they don't. Because crypto disrupts them. Therefore, you get to disrupt them. You get to disrupt them with crypto. Whether it's Bitcoin or whatever it is, you can figure out what to do. If you need research, we got Patreon. We got the YouTube member area. We got geeky GAN reports in Patreon with timing. And we have the subtle beauty of the YouTube member podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the market update for this morning. We will see you tomorrow.